Howdy y'all, Christi here with Little Salty Homesteader. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is day 3 of the summer garden planting. If this is your first time joining me, go ahead and check out those other 2 videos. They're kind of a hot mess, but those are going over planting all of those tomatoes in those raised beds kind of behind me there. So today I am going to be direct sowing some okra, some cucumbers, some squash, and some companion plants to go along with those. And if I have any additional time after that, because I do have some like adult chores that I need to do, if I have any additional time after that, I'm going to start transplanting flowers into that flower bed right there. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we start, I'm going to walk through here and kind of show you everything that is currently done, and then talk about the stuff that is left to do in terms of those direct sown vegetables. So over here, this green stalk, which has had the kohlrabi and rutabagas growing in it, I transplanted a few companion plants and then some super hot peppers. Well, the Aleppo is just hot, but then down here we have habanero and then Lebanon habanero somewhere right there, I think. So there's some marigolds here, some nasturtium, and then I have some basil. But let me show you what we have going on over on this side really quickly because this is cool. So if you guys watched this transplanting video earlier in the season, you'll know that this was just kind of an experiment to see if these would even successfully grow before it got too hot or whatever. But look at this rutabaga. That is not a small guy. It's also got a weed in there, so let me pull that out. That is not a small dude by any means. And then I have another one here that is kind of a decent size. And then look at the little kohlrabi here. That's super cute. I think I need to come in with some fertilizer because we're getting lots of yellow leaves and stuff, but it's super cute. Then this green stalk I planted yesterday with hot peppers, and then I interplanted some dwarf varieties of companion plants. So there are dwarf marigolds, dwarf basils, and then dwarf varieties of nasturtiums planted throughout here, trying to help with pest control. This is just hot peppers, so think mostly jalapenos, serranos. We eat a lot of serranos. There's some Tabasco peppers, cayenne, the buena mulata, that is my husband's favorite, sugar rush peach, things like that. That's all in here. And this lettuce, oh Lord, I desperately need to harvest this lettuce. There is so much lettuce here. I'm walking all around to give you the full view because it's insane. I'm actually going to be sharing some of this with my in-laws. I will take it to them probably Friday. Pull that amaranth out. We don't want that growing there. So once I harvest this, I'm going to be planting bush beans and cowpeas in here. That's not today. That's probably not even like this week that those will go in because I can't harvest all this lettuce at once. That's too much salad for us to eat. I'll be harvesting some later today, and then some on Friday to take to my in-laws. But I'll try to get through it over the weekend so that I can get this flipped and ready. Now here is the tomato patch. I finished this yesterday morning. You can see there's some companion plants planted in here. We're going to be planting more companion plants in here as well. And then I'm going to talk to you guys about a cucumber experiment that Logan and I are going to be doing. So 3 beds of tomatoes and companion plants going on here. And then in these 2, it's sweet peppers with companion plants there. Sorry, I'm not flipping you guys off. Companion plants there. This back row is going to have okra. Squash and zucchini is going to go here. And then back row here as well, and then, you know, more sweet peppers with companion plants going on. So that is the progress so far. This will eventually become the sunflower patch. You can see a volunteer there that's growing pretty well. I don't even know what kind it is. We'll see whenever it blooms. This is more rutabagas and kohlrabi. I guess whenever I started the seeds, I was super overzealous because there's like a million plants here, but that's okay. They're growing a little slower than the ones in the green stalk. I think it's because they don't get as much sun here, but they're growing. You can see them kind of starting to form the kohlrabi shape there. This is mostly kohlrabis in this one, in these. And then we have some beets and broccoli rabe going on here, and a random carrot. So once this stuff starts being taken out, then sunflowers will go in. I'm not too concerned about like rushing to get this stuff out because sunflowers grow pretty quickly. So those will be fine. They will have plenty of time to do their thing. Flowers, of course, will be going here. We've discussed that in previous videos. But that is essentially the garden update. There's the zinnias, some snapdragons and amaranth, and a few other flowers are there and here. Some basils. I think these might have gotten a little bit of cold damage. This is lemon basil. I think they'll be fine. The rest of the basils in here look fine. It's just these two that look kind of ugly. So I'll try to get them planted. It got a little colder than the weather said it was going to get, so I think that's what happened there. It didn't freeze. Basil doesn't like cold, so it's just being bratty. But anyway, that is what is really left to plant. Those nasturtiums are going to go out with those squash plants to help repel some pests. These are the tomatoes that are being given away. Those are the peppers that are being given away. All of this other stuff will be planted within the flower beds and what have you. So very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. Okay, so quick discussion about the cucumber experiment that Logan and I are going to do. We decided to do it just this morning. That's why I haven't mentioned it in previous videos. I was going through my seeds, trying to create a list of the stuff that still needed to be planted. And I recently participated in a seed swap where I got a ton of varieties of cucumbers, and I guess I wasn't really like paying attention to the things that I agreed to trade for 100%. Like, it's totally my fault. And I got like 5 varieties of cucumbers through this swap, which is great. We love pickles, so it'll be fine. But now I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 varieties of cucumbers. So I guess I got 3 or 4 from that swap. So Logan and I are going to grow all of these types of cucumbers to try to determine which ones we like the best for pickles. Now, some of these are going to be much better suited for like fresh eating, for, you know, like salads and tzatziki and, you know, stuff like that. But we're gonna turn it into pickles anyway to see how it turns out. So 2 varieties are gonna go into that green stalk as the rutabagas and kohlrabis come out, along with some dwarf okra that's gonna fill out this front facing side here. And then the other 5 varieties are gonna go into the raised beds. So 1 variety into each bed so I can kind of keep straight what's growing where. Hopefully we don't have, well, even if they do cross-pollinate, it won't affect the fruit that comes this year. That would be a next year problem, and we're not saving the seeds, so it'll be okay. So we'll have 7 different varieties of cucumbers to test pickles, to see which ones we like the best so far based on the seeds that we have. Then around the cucumbers that are going into the raised beds, I'm also going to be planting some radishes to help with pest repelling because squash bugs and cucumber beetles. I really like cucumbers, and I want to do my best to use natural companion plants as far as like pest repelling stuff, because I don't like using even like the organic chemicals. I don't like using them. So usually I just have pests and I get overwhelmed. So we're gonna try better with companion planting to see if we can keep those numbers down a bit. So radishes are going to go around the cucumbers. There's already nasturtiums in those beds. Dill is also going in there, which will attract beneficial insects to help control the bad insect issues. We're also going to be planting borage into the raised beds. Now, borage will help repel hornworms. It is also a medicinal herb and it is edible. Supposedly it tastes like cucumber. I have not tried it, but it smells kind of cucumbery, so I believe that. So I have two varieties. I have blue and I have white. So we're going to get that planted as well. Calendula is also going into the raised beds today. That is a medicinal herb. It's supposed to help repel hornworms. It is typically used for like eczema, sunburn, rashes, skin concern issues for like the medicinal world. Sometimes it is an edible herb and sometimes it is referred to as like poor man's saffron. It has kind of a bittery type flavor. I have not eaten it, so I can't confirm if that's like 100% accurate or not. But those are, oh yes, and then I'm also going to put alyssum into each of the raised beds. These are typically smaller plants, so I'm not worried about, you know, like them taking over the beds. I have a few varieties just to give some color. They're also fantastic companion plants. They attract pollinators. So there's a lot that's going to be happening within these raised beds. They're going to be full of life and it's going to be magnificent, and I'm really excited about it. But we have a lot to plant this morning. So I think I'm going to start with the okra. I need to go get the tape measure because you're supposed to plant okra 18 inches apart. So I need to measure that out because I don't want to plant them too close because they get so huge. My okra last year was like 11, 12 foot tall. It was ginormous and it was awesome, and it was like having trees. And the leaves remind me of Land Before Time. The tree flowers, or what, I can't remember exactly what they were called. Tree flowers, star flowers, something like that. Tree stars, that's what it is, tree stars. The leaves remind me of Land Before Time with the tree stars. So let's get going. It is shaping up to be a beautiful day. So I'm excited to be spending it in the garden with you guys. Let me go grab that tape measure and then we will get rocking and rolling. Okay, so if you've watched everything up to this point, I have planted okra, different varieties of squash, and cucumbers, and I planted the white icicle radish around the squash and the cucumbers. I was just sitting here thinking, because I still have borage and calendula and dill to plant within these 5 beds. I think that I'm going to come back where the cucumber is planted, and I'm going to plant the dill around that. So there's going to be like hopefully 4 plants of dill around each cucumber plant, which seems like a lot, but whenever you're making pickles you need a ton of dill. So I'm not really concerned that it's going to be too much, and then at some point hopefully I'll have swallowtail caterpillars on the dill as well. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, which will then leave these open spaces right here for hopefully for the calendula and the borage. And then of course I can also fit stuff in between the tomato plants and the okra plants as well, because like I said, I want these beds like overflowing and stuffed and so beautiful and so colorful with so many flowers and so much food. So I'm just like putting as much stuff as I could possibly humanly fit in here. I think that that is going to work out fine. So yes, around each cucumber there's going to be dill, and then the rest of the open spaces will be filled with calendula and borage, and then I will squeeze in a few other calendula plants amongst the tomato plants and the okra seeds where I just planted them. So that's what I'm going to work on now. Yeah, that's what I'm going to work on now. By the way, this dill type is bouquet dill. This is seeds that I saved myself from dill that I grew in 2022. I'm not worried that the seeds are like expired or anything. I think it'll be fine. Okay, so while I was planting all of those flower seeds, I was thinking about this basil that I have over here and what I'm going to do with it. I have a friend that I can give like the regular Genovese basil to, but some of these more fun varieties, I think that I'm going to plant between the okra. I know that that is basil literally everywhere, but that's okay. Like I said, we use it for tea, cooking, and everything. So I think that that's what I'm going to do with these extra basils. So I have a blue spice, a tulsi, a lime, 2 lemons, a Corsican, and a cardinal. So I think that that's going to work out really well. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yep. I don't want to put it in the flower beds because, I mean, I could. Maybe I'll hold back one of the lemon basils for the flower beds. That way I can put 3 basils in each of those raised beds. Yes, that's perfect. I'm glad I talked this out with you guys because now I'm feeling much more confident in this decision. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then that is all of the planting I'm going to do for now. I need to go inside and eat some food because Christi is hungry. I'm just thinking through, you know, what else can be planted in those beds, and I think that that is everything for now, unless I think of something else. Those are pretty full. I mean, those, once everything starts filling in, that is going to be a very covered surface. Once the seeds start sprouting, I'm going to go back with the straw mulch and mulch everything really well. That's going to help retain moisture, and then help slow down like weed pressure, dandelion stuff blows in there, whatever. But I don't think I want to squeeze anything in there, anything else into these beds after I get the basils put in, because they're going to be really full, and I want them really full, but I don't want them so full that you know, it stunts the growth of everything and everything just stays tiny, because I need tomatoes and eggplants and peppers and tomatillos and okra and all of those things. The whole reason why I started gardening to begin with. So let me go ahead and get those basils planted, and then I will sign off for this video because I'm sure you guys have other things to do today besides watch this. Moving where the sun won't be in my eyeballs. Okay. Hello. Hello. Okay, we did it. We got the rest of the raised bed planting done. Okra, squash, cucumbers, companion plants, flowers, all of the beautiful things. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today while I did that. If you liked this video and you want to see more content like this, please like and subscribe, comment, do all the YouTubey things. It's greatly helping out my channel. The next planting video that I will have is going to actually be planting this flower bed behind me. It's going to have a bit of work entailed with it because I already pulled the weeds once and they're already back, so I'm gonna have to pull weeds before I can even plant, but that's okay. I'm gonna film all that, show you guys my lazy gardener process for that. But until the next video, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Go find a way to get those garden manicures. Bye.